Edition, Mr. Relevant. I'm Alex Strouf with you from the Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all. Studio at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee. Josh DiMaggio is here, and will we get the JOSHY and the stretch he's been on the last, 6 to 8 months. I mean, this guy is having the best 2025 of anybody that's ever existed. We will get to that at some point in the show. Will Sommers is here as well. Hunter Vaughn running the show as always back at the Everlight Solar Studio in downtown Madison. All right, plenty to get to. Jayden Reed has double surgery. We will talk about that. Who has the biggest hole to fill for the Green Bay Packers wide receiver room after Reed will be missing? It seems like pretty significant time, but glad he got both the surgeries. We'll get into that. I'm feeling a particular level of gratitude today. So we will talk about my thank yous as the Packers are 2-0 entering Week 3 against the Cleveland Browns. And, of course, we will play One Word Wednesday, what we missed, what we learned, which is presented by Door County Distillery. All that ahead on Mr. Irrelevant. But before we get to all that, we are men of our words, right? I think that's a fair thing to say, Joshy. We're men of our words. We like to make sure we try to stick true to what we say, right, yeah. Will? You'd agree with that?
Yeah, I'd say
Hunter,
so.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, I think that's something we should pride ourselves on as a show.
Yeah, and I would agree with that. So on Monday's edition of the program, we got very derailed right off the top, kind of reacting to Week 2 of the NFL. And Will and Josh specifically, I think, got a tad carried away on referring to teams as ass, simply put. Carried away, fair?
I think we were using creative language to describe bad football teams.
And I think through 2 weeks in the NFL, we've determined more than half of the league is ass or some variation of ass. Fair?
Yes. Yeah, I think so. Because I think there are a lot of teams that, when you boil it down at the end of the season, that are going to be near 500 or below. And to me, that all fits into the ass rankings.
Well, Chef Ed, the first to chime in on YouTube, says, I'm intrigued by the first topic, which if you're listening on the audio side, on our right bar, just says ass.
Uh-huh.
As you should be intrigued. So we have gotten the crew together. We've gotten the brains of this operation, which is about 1 1/3 of a brain. And we are going to discuss our ass levels. So we decided to leave good teams off, though we could have used like kicking ass and badass.
Yeah, no.
But we're just going to call them good.
I think the title of the show dictates us to only talk about bad shows, bad teams.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's more fitting.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah. When it comes to these power rankings.
Yeah.
I think what we should do first is let everyone know the levels of ass.
Yep.
And then from there, we will break down.
I don't believe the levels of ass are subject to change, though. We may create a special level of ass if the Bears continue doing what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
But we have 6 levels of ass. Okay, so the first level is just maybe ass. You might be ass. We're not completely certain you're ass, but you're maybe ass. The second level of ass is frisky ass, which is hard to say with a straight face.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, you're a bad team, but you might be able to have a little fun sometimes. Okay? We got that one. Don't take this one in a positive way. The third level is your pretty ass. And I don't mean it's pretty. I mean, it's not pretty. It's the opposite of maybe what the word indicates. You're pretty ass.
You're more ass than good.
And then the other 3 levels are the ones we determined on Monday. The top 3 levels or bottom 3 levels of ass.
Mm-hmm.
Mega ass. Ultra ass, and the very worst level of ass is turbo ass. Okay, so those are our levels.
I think we have to go from least ass to most ass as the big reveal. It's the opposite of power rankings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the exact opposite, in fact.
Kind of a low blow that Caleb Williams is the header on this graphic on our YouTube stream, ESPN Milwaukee, ESPN Madison.
I mean, like we said last week, Will, as a Bears fan, you are the foremost expert in bad football. Caleb Williams then becomes the poster boy of ass teams.
Not wrong.
Yeah.
Just saying, low blow. It's all good, though.
So let's start with maybe ass. We have 3 teams in that category. The Chiefs, who are 0-2, are maybe ass. They're probably going to find their way out of ass town at some point. But right now, they are maybe ass. The Arizona Cardinals also maybe ass, despite being 2-0.
Yeah, when you beat the Saints by 7 and the Panthers by 5.
Not that impressive.
Nope.
Start to the season.
Gonna imagine there's gonna be some hiccups in the season.
And finally, another 2-0 team that now is sans their quarterback in Joe Burrow. That would be the Bengals. Maybe.
I think this team would have ended up ass even with a full season of Joe Burrow. They just now have an even more difficult time where we'll probably be dropping them a couple rungs.
Let's go to Frisky. Jaguars? I was torn on this one. They could be pretty, but they're frisky. The Texans are frisky. That's a team who's playing worse than I think they actually are. But
Yes.
maybe I could be wrong on that also. They might just be bad now.
Stroud just might not be as good as we all thought off that rookie season.
Great rookie year. Last year took a step back. Seems like he's taken another step back here in year 3.
The differentiator here for me is the Jaguars end up in frisky because they did beat the Panthers, who we'll see later, by 16. And then they barely lost to the maybe-ass Bengals.
Yep, maybe yes. This might be the least intelligent thing we've done.
No, this is important stuff. It gives people a proper gauge of what to think of the season.
And then the Falcons also in frisky ass. You like the Falcons, though. You advocated for this one.
Yeah, I think the Falcons are a pretty decent team. I mean, they took it to the Vikings.
They did.
JJ McCarthy was awful. And then they were a field goal away from beating the Buccaneers, who I think is a pretty damn good team. So they're in the frisky category.
Let's go to pretty ass. We have the Vikings there. Also have the Raiders there. And also have the Steelers and Aaron Rodgers there. I don't think we need to clarify.
No, the Vikings is the one I'm skeptical of because I don't want to doubt Kevin O'Connell and him figuring something
Correct.
out.
But I don't trust Carson Wentz.
Right, but through two games, that team has played one good quarter of football, and the rest has been probably more towards ultra ass.
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
Turbo, Ultra. No, Ultra's next. Just 2 teams there.
Wait, did we skip Mega?
Oh, I did skip Mega. I'm sorry. Mega. Mega ass. Titans, Cowboys, Jets.
Congratulations, Hunter. This is where you'll find your team.
Hey, higher than the Bears, so that's all that matters.
I don't think that that's fair to the Cowboys. Do I think they belong in the ass rankings? Yes. I think they're a frisky team. I would have put them in frisky ass.
I think the Cowboys have a potential to drive themselves up to frisky. I certainly do. I think their offense is very, very good and potent, scores a lot of points. That defense is just degrees of ass that are hard to fathom.
Yep.
Maybe Jadeveon Clowney will save the day.
I mean, we can hope. Yeah, I think frisky ass is their ceiling, though.
Yeah.
Probably the ceiling.
Yeah.
I would agree with that. Let's go to
Ultra.
2 teams here. I don't think we need to explain this one too far. Giants, Panthers.
Yeah, the Giants and both these teams could, in a wild situation, end up upsetting a pretty good team. They could score points. They can look competent for stretches, but they are overwhelmingly more ass than not.
Ron of the Key says Wentz can't be worse than J.J. McCarthy. Addition by subtraction. I don't know about that. So yeah, Giants. These are both 2 teams that can move up or down very quickly.
If your discussion is they can't be worse than the really bad they were, you're in a bad spot.
All right, and then finally, Turbo ass. These are the 4 worst teams in the league in our eyes.
I feel like we should almost have some big reveal music.
Would have been good to think about beforehand.
For the greatest honor, the deepest level, the most ass you could possibly be. This is a
Is this a podcast record for the times ass has been said?
I think so.
Oh, good music.
Yeah,
Good job.
Great transition.
All right, coming in at the 4th to most ass is the Cleveland Browns, who the Packers play this week.
Yeah, I think I think all 4 of these teams are in serious running for the first overall pick.
Yeah, I do too.
The Browns might end up being the most
Ass?
Yes. But they are terrible. They play the Packers this week. It's going to look even worse. They have 4 quarterbacks, which means they have 0. There's calls for Shedeur Sanders and Dylan Gabriel. It's a disaster there.
Let's go to the third most ass team in the turbo ass category. This is going to take me some getting used to. Turbo ass. This is where we find the Chicago Bears.
Yep.
Congratulations, Will.
Yeah, the
bronze medal of ass.
The draft pick thing just threw me through a loop because I realized like week 10 I'm going to start bringing up the tankathon. I hope
that Tyson Bagent meter is only going to go up.
Here's what I can tell you: you're guaranteed a top 10 pick.
Will they do anything with it? Probably not.
That's what we've been told.
Maybe draft another wide receiver or a tight end.
Under your GM who's been extended in Ryan Poles. Let's go to the silver medal of turbo ass. The Miami Dolphins. We're not clapping for them?
No, I was clapping for Will.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. The Miami Dolphins have looked probably the worst out of every team.
Yeah.
And I just realized there may be possibly a team we should have added.
Honorable mention ass?
The New England Patriots probably deserve to be here somewhere. On second thought,
they might.
Hey, we're still working. We're workshopping.
This is the first poll.
Yeah, this is the beta
they got
test.
votes. They just.
Have you seen the top 25? They don't get it right every time.
No, they don't.
We take the off-field rankings or the off-field problems into account, right? Because the Dolphins had like a players-only meeting after the first game.
After week 1,
That's correct. Yeah. And I think the shock to nobody is the gold medal of turbo ass goes to the New Orleans Saints.
Yeah. This is.
Now, hold on.
The lowest lows.
And again, I don't know that any explanation is necessary on that. Taking into account the off-the-field things, did you guys see the big news about one of the New England Patriots stars today?
No.
I did.
And it is?
I think it's Stephon Diggs and Cardi B related, right?
Yeah, correct.
Yeah. They're
broke
having
up?
a baby?
No, they're
baby?
expecting.
Oh,
they're
wow.
expecting. Yes,
Good for
Stephon
him.
Diggs and Cardi B are expecting. So congratulations to the happy couple.
Clap for that.
Yeah. More life.
Funny you mentioned Cardi B during the ass rankings.
Speaking of, okay, so that segment, which we just tried out for the first time, I'm not certain how it went, but it was a try. It was
I thought it was fantastic.
But you kind of didn't know what we were going to say in that segment. I think we just broke the podcast world record for saying the word ass as many times as we did in the first 14 minutes of the show.
That made me a bit uncomfortable, and that's me.
But here's the thing. You never know what we're going to say in that segment. You also never know what you're going to say when you're on anesthesia, which is a word I always have trouble saying.
Anesthesia.
I think I nailed it. Anesthesia.
Yeah, you had a little hiccup in the middle, but you delivered it correctly.
Okay, great. Packers wide receiver Jayden Reed underwent the knife for his broken collarbone, which was suffered last Thursday against the Commanders, as well as the Jones fracture earlier reported by Jason Wilde in his foot. What are you giggling at?
Just you underwent the knife.
Isn't that what you say when somebody goes
under the knife?
That's what I said.
No, you underwent. You said he underwent the knife.
Is that what I said?
Yes.
Yeah.
Your inability to know like idioms and common sayings and just
you called me the king of cliches a day ago.
Yeah, you are the king of cliches, but you also deliver them wrong often.
Yeah,
you love a cliche.
I do.
But your accuracy, your hit rate is 50-50.
That's true. Okay, so he went under the knife. Jayden Reed. Let's just start over. So Packers wide receiver Jayden Reed went under the knife yesterday for a couple of injuries. He broke his collarbone last Thursday against the Commanders. Also had that Jones fracture earlier reported by Jason Wilde in his foot. And he figured he'd kill two birds with one stone, or two birds for one bird, if you will. His nickname is Bird. And I don't know who thought this was a good idea, but once he woke up from these surgeries, he went live on Instagram. And you got to hear this, because this guy is locked the hell in despite being on anesthesia. Take a listen and a watch. Jayden Reed after his surgeries.
You got a whole bunch of people on here. You want to turn it off? Tell them hi. Tell them that you
Pack
good.
us to the bowl, bro.
Okay.
Bruh.
Tell them you good. And then we're going to
I'm good. Thank you for the prayers, bro. But we turned, bro.
Okay.
We going all the way, bro.
Okay.
Packers to the bowl, bruh.
Packers to the bowl, bruh.
Despite this guy missing, like, it's going to be an extensive period of time with dual surgery. And I mean, the collarbone injury will take you long enough. You typically 2 to 3 months. It's going to take a while for him to come back. He's not going to be on the field. He's not going to be making an on-the-field impact for months. But rather than waking up upset or waking up saying, well, Jordan didn't use me enough in the first 2 weeks, or, having a gripe or saying something completely out of pocket, Jayden Reed wakes up from surgery and says, Packers to the bowl, bruh.
Packers to the bowl, bruh.
This is the type of guy you want on your football team. He wakes up completely out of it. I've been on anesthesia. I imagine most of us have, right? When I got my wisdom teeth out, I was on anesthesia.
I stayed awake for it because I'm a man.
Well, to each their own. And I remember I was saying some out-of-pocket stuff. We got video of it somewhere. We're not going to play that for you today, though. But, you don't really know what's going to come out of your mouth. And at some point yesterday, they said, you know what's a good idea, or what would be a fun idea? I go live on Facebook, or Instagram, rather. I let everybody know I'm all right. I'm good. I made it out. And I'm just going to tell everybody what everybody's thinking. And nobody in that locker room will say, and I'm not in the locker room right now. And after 2 games, we're feeling pretty damn good. It's Packers to the bowl, bruh.
Packers to the bowl, bruh.
I love that from Jayden Reed. That dude is a dog. And he was going to play through that foot injury. But since he had to get surgery, he said, all right, might as well get all the way healthy for when I eventually return later in the season. And hopefully at that point in the season, JOSHY, it's still Packers to the bowl, bruh.
Packers to the bowl, bruh.
I've had a hard time listening to you because for the amount, even though we said ass 1,000 times, the amount of times you said Packers to the bowl, bruh, really made me cringe.
Packers to the bowl, bruh.
I think it's somebody that high profile with that much to lose, being allowed to flick on his Instagram live is such bad decision making.
Oh, it's horrible.
It turned out great and gave us something to talk about. I didn't consider that he would get both done. It makes sense to get both done, and it does seem like the collarbone is going to take longer. I believe Rob Domofsky tweeted that out earlier when talking to Matt LaFleur, that the collarbone will be the portion that causes him to miss more amount of time. So it makes sense. It's good for him. Get him back. You want him towards the end of the season. You want everyone as healthy as possible. So it's nice to have sort of a scheduled reinforcements plan. I think we've already got Christian Watson, who's seems to be the most healthy person who's on the pup alive right now, with the way everybody's talking to him and he's talking about himself. The Packers have so much opportunity and can withstand so much at that position. We spent a lot of time talking about the wide receiver 1 by committee and how the depth is their strength, but then they go out and draft Matthew Golden. I think every team in the NFL would want the depth the Packers have while also wanting a true wide receiver 1. But at times like this, with the defense as good as it is and the offense seemingly moving the ball at will to start most games, that it's only a good thing that the Packers are now able to, with relative, I have zero concern about Jayden Reed and Christian Watson not being available.
Agreed.
None whatsoever. And that, to me, I think is both a point of pride for those guys in that room and also gets you really excited about what it might look like by the time the end of the season rolls around.
And look, I mean, I know we've spent so much time saying, hey, they really need a number 1 pass catcher, let's say. And sure, at least through the first 2 weeks, it doesn't seem like anybody's the clear-cut front runner, right? Tucker Kraft did a great week, too. Romeo Doubs has been really solid through each of the first 2 weeks. Nobody's been more open downfield than Matthew Golden in the National Football League, despite only 2 catches for 16 yards.
Speaking of ass, did you see the tweet from Scott Barrett? It's a metric they tweet out and that they use at whatever site he works for. It's the average separation score, where it bases the information and how open someone is by the amount of, not even when they are receiving the ball, it's just how open they get against the defender in front of them. And Matthew Golden is first in the league in terms of getting open versus everyone else.
And what was that statistic called?
Ass. average separation score. The Ass Show.
That's going to be the title of this podcast. Episode 299, The Ass Show.
Yeah, well, we can't escape it. It is what it is.
We are who we are. And that's something we all have to accept at some point in life. Mm-hmm. I think you and I are there. I think we're at the acceptance stage. I don't know if Will got into this career, and he's been a part of the show, 3.5 months now. I don't know if he's gotten to the acceptance stage of, hey, I work for the Ass Show, which, I don't know if I've ever told you this, but in a past life prior to my time at ESPN Wisconsin, I hosted a show called The Alex Strouf Show.
The Ass Show.
Hashtag the ass.
Yeah.
Full circle.
Yeah, full circle right now.
Time's a flat circle.
It sure is. Yeah, I totally agree with that. So anyway, going back
Strouf,
to my
do you
point
know
on
what time's a flat circle means?
Do you guys know the
course I do.
reference?
to what?
I do.
Time is a flat circle?
Yeah.
Is that a reference or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I just kind of always
Very
thought that was
famously.
I just always thought that was a saying.
It's a show that stars Matthew McConaughey.
Woody Harrelson.
They're in a show together?
It is the
Yeah.
first.
Oh, it's the True Detective?
Yeah.
Yep.
Nice job by Will.
Got it.
It is it was the debut of Alexandra Daddario as well, where she became into the common consciousness.
Who?
Yeah.
Google
Strouf
her
wasn't
name,
going to
you'll
know who
figure
she
her
was.
What was her name?
You'll know.
Alexandra Daddario. Type it in Google, you'll figure it out fast.
Yep.
Baywatch? I don't know who this is.
Yes, she was in the remake of Baywatch.
Percy Jackson film series?
Yep.
I have no idea who this is. Am I missing something?
Well, anyway, in the show, McConaughey's...
Why are you not telling me? What am I missing?
She very famously she has a nude scene that took
Yep.
over the world and is still referenced to this day.
Okay. Well, apparently I'm not as creepy as you guys.
No, that's just called being aware.
I also just was watching
Most
the
people-
show, and all of a sudden that happened. I was like, oh, okay. This is a thing in this
Which
show.
show?
True Detective.
True Detective.
The
Maybe
first
the best
season.
TV show of the past 20 years.
Really?
Single
Yes.
season of a
Okay,
TV
maybe-
show. Speaking of
Yes,
ass,
correct.
the second season, ass.
Yes.
Oh, the Ass Show. Wow. Unbelievable. Okay. Well, I guess the moral of the story here to the first 25 minutes of the show. Sorry, Josh. Packers
Ass.
to the bowl, bruh.
Pack us to the bowl, bro.
Ron and the Key has decided to tweet me because I said that you were making me cringe by saying it, and show all the times I said it, but the most recent one was in 2016 via Twitter.
You were a big bra guy.
Yeah, of course. Everyone was in 2016.
Brother, I don't know if I've ever used the term bruh.
Well, you also don't know what True Detective or Alexander Daddario is. You lived in a cocoon of talking sports and writing about the Oklahoma Thunder.
That's true. I won't argue with that.
You didn't
I'm
grow
gonna
up
be
like
honest.
the rest of us.
Thought when you started bringing up that Ron and the Key were bringing up your old tweets, I thought for sure it was all the times you tweeted ass.
That's probably far more than the amount of times I tweeted bruh.
Bruh, I was listening to Mad Tunes today, but these tweets gotta fly.
I wonder what that was in reference to.
That was Josh in 2016 on Twitter.
Deleted by the author.
Who knows, man? Probably drinking.
I don't even know who that person is I was talking to.
All right, I want to get to a moment of gratitude, if you wouldn't mind allowing me to express some gratitude on a great day like today. The Packers are 2-0. The Brewers are still in first place in the NFL or in the MLB. This has nothing to do with the Brewers. I'm just a happy guy, man. Life is good. Beautiful weather. Had a great dinner last night with a couple of friends. I'm just feeling immense gratitude today on this Wednesday. So I'd like to express some gratitude. I'd like to thank a group of people. Dumbasses would be the first group of people I'd like to thank. And that specifically goes to Jerry Jones, the general manager of the Dallas Cowboys, and Joe Shane, the general manager of the New York Giants. Because those two guys in the last calendar year plus have made the conscious decision to allow their best defensive players to wind up in Green Bay. Xavier McKinney last year left the Giants and was an all-pro and has been a absolute stud in the back end of this Packers defense. Jerry Jones allowed himself, willingly, to trade Micah Parsons to the Packers. The Packers are number 1 in the league through 2 weeks in quarterback pressures and number 2 in the league in sacks through the first 2 games of the NFL season. Thanks to those 2 individuals. So thank you to them. I'd also like to thank Jeff Hafley, smart fella, not a fart smeller. Jeff Hafley came in and replaced Joe Barry last year as the Packers defensive coordinator. And for the first time in a really long time, made me feel like the Packers had a defense. And that's further been proven here in 2025. The Packers have a defense. And while it's great to have good players in that defense, Jeff Hafley has made that happen. So I thank Jeff Hafley, the smart fella. I'd also like to thank Ed Policy and Brian Gutekunst. The Urgency Brothers, I'd like to call them. Ed Policy comes in as the new owner, or not owner, well, president, CEO of the Packers. Brian Gutekunst says at the end of last season they need to show some urgency. And boy, have these 2 fellas shown urgency. Drafting Matthew Golden in the first round of the NFL draft. Trading for Micah Parsons at the end of the offseason. The Urgency Brothers have propelled and catapulted this team into immediate championship contention, 4th best odds at Potawatomi Sportsbook to win the Super Bowl through 2 weeks of the season. And finally, I'd like to thank Matt LaFleur, man. Cool, calm, collected, good head coach. Talked last week about how underrated I think he is in the league. So I'm feeling a lot of gratitude to those guys, Joshy. The dumbasses and Jerry Jones and Joe Shane. The Urgency Brothers in Ed Policy and Brian Gutekunst. And the smart fellows and Jeff Hafley and Matt LaFleur. Just an immense amount of gratitude. You know, you said it, what day was that? Monday? The long hiatus the Packers had as the top team, one of the top teams in the NFL. Yeah, it was a tough hiatus. And the hiatus is over, and this team is right back into top of the league category, championship contention, one of the best defenses in the league. Jordan Love is top 3 in MVP odds right now, Potawatomi Sportsbook. Life is really good as a Packers fan, and it is not as good as it is today without any of those guys I mentioned. So thank you to those guys. I really appreciate them. Do you have anything to add?
No, seems like you did it pretty well there. We did write a thank you letter to Joe Shane.
I remember that.
And Jen Gabichui for Xavier McKinney. I don't feel like a letter is enough of a thank you to Jerry Jones. I think we need to somehow extend further gratitude. Maybe we rent a plane and fly it around when, you know how they can.
You mean like a banner?
Yeah, put those and have it fly around.
We could probably rent
stadium.
a billboard.
Yeah, I don't know how much that costs. I don't know how much our company would be willing to, but that would be great promotion. Thank you, us here at Mr. Irrelevant and ESPN Wisconsin.
From the MIA, from Mr. Irrelevant Army.
Thank you for Micah.
Could we crowdsource that?
Well, I
think
I was just going to say I've got some family connections to the Prosper, Texas community, which the Jones family owns a significant amount of property in and spends a lot of time up there.
Okay.
So might know some people.
You have your family billboard business by chance?
No, but a family member was on the city council, I believe it was. So might have some connections to people who could help make that happen.
We got to look into this.
I just Googled how much does it cost to rent. Roughly $500 to $1,500.
Oh, billboards are not cheap, man. Yeah.
No, but to get somebody in the air with a plane to fly around.
Oh, that's what you looked up?
Yeah.
$500.
Costs roughly $500 to $1,500 or more, depending on the message length and flight duration. With some services starting around $550. And going all the way up to $5,000.
Now, I don't know legalities on anything, so we'll have to look into this. But what about a plane just circling AT&T Stadium for like an hour with a sign that says "Thank you, Jerry," from Mr. Irrelevant?
Well,
thank you for Micah.
We have to say Micah specifically.
Yeah, and if it's during the week, we'd want to do it at the team facility up in Frisco. They don't practice in Arlington where the stadium is.
We want it around game day. We need the fans to see it.
Now, again, I feel like the legalities would be tough to figure out for that. Imagine no flying objects are encouraged.
No, I believe you are able to do it. I believe you probably have to give clearance for any potential flyover. Not that Dallas would have one.
But again, I'm doing a good deed. I'm thanking their owner and their general manager for
being nice,
for being a great guy.
Gratitude is key.
This doesn't feel very nice. Maybe I shouldn't have said anything. I regret my decisions.
Speaking of gratitude, we got to talk about this. Josh DiMaggio has had an unbelievable calendar year. Like I was listing off things on Twitter. I don't think I've even nailed everything great that's happened to Josh in the last year. So I think this dates back to roughly about the same points. But at one point, Josh's neighbor's porch was on fire. It was ablaze.
It was ablaze.
And Josh saved this dude's house. He found a hose, broke into his porch, stopped the fire, knocked on the door. Guy didn't answer until the sixth try.
Yes.
So you stopped the house fire from happening. And then at the NFL draft, we had, some things happen within our company that somehow kicked Josh DiMaggio into the captain's chair, if you will. Mm-hmm. He became in charge of everything we were doing at the NFL draft, and he put on a headset, and I felt like it really started a power trip. But it turns out it just turned on boss mode JOSHY. Like badass JOSHY. And then shortly thereafter, Josh DiMaggio won a random drawing within our company to win $1,000. So he just had an extra grand float into his bank account one day. Mm-hmm. It's like a stork arriving at your porch with a baby. $1,000 just wound up in Josh's wallet. I'm probably missing more things. You manifested the Micah Parsons thing.
You could definitely count that as a good thing. It's happened to everyone else in the room as well. Some positive, some negative, but I'd count it.
And then this morning on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, Josh is filling in, hosting, Will producing, with Jen Latta. And every Wednesday at 7:30, Jen, Gabe, and Chewy is joined by ESPN's authority on all things NFL. Great Adam Schefter.
One of the most recognizable faces in all sports media.
And it starts with this from Adam Schefter to Josh DiMaggio when he gets on camera and he goes, holy smokes, there's Josh. Listen to this interaction between Adam Schefter and Josh DiMaggio.
It's nice to see Josh at the big boy table.
Uh-huh. They called me up.
We let him play.
It only takes 2 people to be missing for me to get the call. Actually, probably more than that if we do it all. But I'm here and I'm happy to be talking to you, Adam.
And then the interview is wrapping up with Adam Schefter. And he says goodbye and then drops this line on Josh DiMaggio.
Keep up the good work, Josh.
Keep up the good work, Josh. From the premier NFL insider, Adam Schefter. So I don't know if he took some of that G he won earlier in the year and slipped it Shefty's way.
Did not.
And said, hey, man, make me look good in front of my co-host, please. Or if Joshy has just won over Shefty with the great cackle in the background occasionally. Or what happened here? But Adam Schefter loves you.
Yeah, we're buds. I'm buds with Shefty. I tweeted it out because, when it happened, that's a rather... At no point when I started, pursuing this profession, did I ever think that Adam Schefter was going to personally shout me out and tell me keep up the good work? He's certainly been extremely positive in text message or the brief phone conversations we've had for, show-related things. I met him. He was very nice. And I said, when anyone ever asks, I tell them Adam Schefter is one of the nicest people and that it was surreal. And that's what it was. Because, short of... I don't know who I'd really even put in the pantheon above Adam Schefter in terms of sports media, powerful, they shift the conversation, they determine the conversation. He's got probably the most powerful phone book in all of America.
That's probably accurate, yeah. Certainly up there.
But yeah, I mean, it was surreal. It makes you feel an immense amount of gratitude for the positions that I've been put in, and that he would be so nice to somebody who he has no real need to be nice to. It's not going to determine Adam Schefter's rest of his life if he's nice or says something pleasant about me.
Yes,
but he went
agreed.
out of his way to do it because we're buds.
Keep up the good work, Josh.
Keep up the good work, Josh.
Yeah.
The troublesome part, even though it was my decision, is that drop is going to live forever on the show.
Keep up the good work,
That's
Josh.
going nowhere. Now, here's the other part. That's not where this ended. Josh, you asked Schefter a question about Jayden Reed having surgery on both his foot and his collarbone.
Yes.
And I'm not accusing Schefter of anything. It seemed like he wasn't super in the loop on that because all we knew at that point was Jayden Reed had tweeted that. And
Correct.
as far as we were aware, he was still on anesthesia.
Yes.
But about an hour after his interview ended on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, Adam Schefter then tweets this. Packers wide receiver Jayden Reed wound up undergoing surgery on both a broken clavicle and a Jones fracture in his left foot. And then he goes on to quote Reed from social media, he is now out indefinitely. I believe, without you asking him directly about that at 7:30 this morning, we don't get that update from Adam Schefter.
I don't think so either.
So not only are you getting complimented by Adam Schefter, you are helping Adam Schefter curate the news he is sending to millions and millions and millions of National Football League fans around the world.
Keep up the good work,
Yeah,
Josh.
there were people who might not have been aware. Fantasy owners, that's certainly relevant information to them. Some Packer fans, they're not as plugged in as we are because they aren't as addicted to this, but you know, they care about Jayden Reed. They know Jayden Reed. They want Jayden Reed on his team. And Jayden Reed isn't the level of star where an injury would be like a national news thing. It sort of happened at the beginning of the game, and then so much happened after that yeah, he took a look and also confirmed that he did have a Jones fracture. For those people who were doubting it, I don't think you'd get surgery on something that didn't need it. So it seems like, hey, everything's coming up me this year. What can I say? Pat on the back to me.
How far am I away from getting a drop like that? Keep up the good work.
From Schefter? It's going to be a
Keep up the
while.
good work.
Will.
I mean, to this point, I've now been doing this for the better
Hold on.
7 years.
Hold on. Do that again.
Keep up the good work.
Will.
Did you make your own?
Yeah.
His lips didn't move. Play it one more time.
Keep up the good work.
Will.
You felt so much jealousy in it. You said I got to have one for myself.
No. I just thought it'd be funny to make one like that.
I like that one. I think that one's better than the one that's accurate.
Keep up the good work.
Will.
You know what you could
Keep up the
also
good work.
do
Will.
is just go find him saying "will" in one of his million appearances.
He will play.
And you could just manufacture that and share
No,
that.
because that's so insincere. Like if you're gonna dub it with your I actually like.
It's
like
so bad
Will's.
that it's good.
Here's the thing: it actually might be better than the Josh one.
Keep up the good work.
Will.
I didn't know that was coming. I didn't know he did that.
I had no idea.
I'm in love.
I
with
like it.
I'm in love with it.
I'm just full of surprises.
One more time.
Keep up the good work.
Will.
You're so perfect. I can hardly tell the difference.
Yeah, you guys sound exactly alike. Same cadence, same rhythm.
Just two moguls. What can I say?
Moguls.
Keep up the good work.
Will.
My head hurts. All right. Well, Josh, he's had a heck of a year. Congrats, Josh. Great job today.
Hey, thanks, guys.
I can't believe you inspired a Schefter tweet. That part's actually more unbelievable than him saying, "Keep up the good work, Josh."
Keep up the good work, Josh.
Yeah, now I can't prove that I did it, but I did ask him a direct question about
And an hour
Jayden Reed.
later,
Yeah.
that's like one phone call for him.
Correct. Yeah.
He drove to work. He made the phone call. He had to go to Get Up or something. And then all of a sudden, he's tweeting things Josh is asking him about.
Hey, That's what I'm hearing.
What's your mogul power rankings of the three of you, Will? Schefty, Josh, and you.
Oh, I'm definitely last.
And Shefty's first?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
I don't know, man. Josh is well on his way.
I mean, that was like rank the basketball players: Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, and Steve Kerr.
I don't think that's what that was.
Steve Kerr hit some big shots. Don't sell yourself short.
Yeah, he did.
Steve Kerr was big time.
He's got a couple
Thinking
coaching rings.
Ursan Ilyasova.
Okay.
But now it's getting disrespectful to Will.
Yeah. That's kind of mean.
Notice that Josh, he did not stop himself from calling himself Scottie Pippen.
Yeah.
He's just taking you out.
He's assistant Michael.
All right, we're done with that. Every Wednesday, Hunter's got a list of topics we haven't been able to hit throughout the week. Myself, Josh, and Will respond or attempt to with one word, sometimes more, sometimes less. It's time now to play a little One Word Wednesday on Mr. Irrelevant.
I'm going to continue the theme going because I don't think we talk enough college football on this show. We're going to keep going college football. The Wisconsin-Virginia Tech game in 2031 has been moved from Blacksburg, Virginia to Charlotte for the Duke's Mayo Classic.
My word's who, if anyone wants to finish it.
Cares.
Thank you.
Mine is Hellman's.
Now, hear me out on this, though. What if...
Oh, here we go.
What if the downfall of Badgers football happened when Graham Mertz broke the trophy in the locker room after winning the Duke's Mayo Bowl, and they need to win the Duke's Mayo Classic to reverse the curse?
So we got 6 more years of this?
So wait, the 2031?
I mean, or would you rather
How many
have
head coaches do they have in that time?
At least 2 more.
That'll be Luke Fickell.
Okay.
Because of the buyout.
Yeah, I don't think so. The buyout is huge. Yeah.
Former teammate of ours and former Badger, Monte Ball, was selected to the Rose Bowl Hall of Fame. Ball was the only player ever to have 3 100-yard games in the Rose Bowl.
Yeah, dominant is the word. Monte Ball was one of the all-time great running backs in college football. Great dude. Enjoyed working with him the couple seasons I did. On Wisconsin College game day. Yeah, I mean, it's just unheard of. He was dominant in that game despite Wisconsin not winning any of them. I mean, he was just that good of a college running back. Obviously, inducted last year into the College Football Hall of Fame, inducted last year into the UW Hall of Fame, the UW Athletics Hall of Fame, and just another well-deserved honor for Monte Ball.
I'm going to go little different direction, and I agree with everything you said about Monte Ball and his dominance, but sad is my word because it makes me sad to think about the Badgers playing in Rose Bowls and that game meaning so much, which it never will really again unless they're in a college football playoff. There is something great about, even though your team wasn't in the playoff or competing for a national championship, a Rose Bowl still meant something to almost everybody in college football. And those were fun games to watch, to see your team in. And overall we're better off with the expanded playoff and what we have now. Mm-hmm. But it is disappointing that you can't have that little nugget of, hey, we're in a Rose Bowl coming up. This is going to be fun.
My word's granddaddy. Rose Bowl is coined as the granddaddy of them all. I think it's the best bowl game regardless of whether it has college football playoff implications. So congrats to Monte Ball. Incredible honor.
The flight tracker has made another appearance in the sports world, this time in college football, as the Florida Gators message board noticed a private jet going from Gainesville, Florida to Dallas-Fort Worth. So Gators fans believe that the head coach of SMU, who took SMU to the playoffs last year, will be the next head coach of the Florida Gators. Because of one private jet going from Gainesville.
But they haven't fired their coach
yet.
My word's stretch. There's no way a coach is taking a private plane in the middle of a game week. to go visit with a team that already has a head coach who's not been fired yet.
Yeah, that's
Billy Napier has only. How long has he been there? He hasn't been there super long, right?
3 years. He had a year, then the Graham Mertz year, and now this year, I believe, is his third year.
Yeah, it's his fourth year. 22, 23, 24. Were his first 3 seasons. I don't know that it's a foregone conclusion he'll get fired. Obviously, they have not had the most ideal start to the season. Dumb. This is dumb.
I'm gonna say lunacy, because college football message boards seem to be the last bastion of true deranged sports fans, where they really just let anything take off. It's a culture unto itself. You don't really find it in any other sport to the degree you do within college football.
Yeah.
And people make some of the most preposterous claims on there. If you told me to find a message board in the next 5 minutes, I don't know if I could do it.
Non-college
they really don't
football
exist anymore.
Yeah, outside of the college football world, that's the only place it exists, and that's why I love them. They are hilarious.
What
I follow
sites
Twitter.
host? What's
I think 247 Sports does.
Yeah, and
Is it 24/7 or 247?
It's 247.
24/7.
It is
Oh,
247. I've had Nick Osen of 247. He does the Badgers recruiting stuff on a few times.
Interesting.
Friend of show.
Yep.
I thought his name was Olsen this whole time.
Osen. There's no L.
Yeah, makes sense.
Nick, good guy, friend of the show. Been on this program a few times. All right, what else we got?
A couple of games in the Big Ten this week. First, and I think they need to call it this, the Trojan War. 10 p.m., Michigan State Spartans at number 25, the USC Trojans. I don't know how they're not playing for a trophy that is a Trojan horse.
My word's gross. The fact that anyone would subject themselves to watch this at 10 p.m. It's disgusting.
You'll be watching.
Oh, I'm going to do it. I stayed up and watched
US
Minnesota Cal.
USC's off to a good start this year, aren't they? They're 3-0, I think.
Yeah, they're number 25. Yeah.
Well, they cracked the rankings this week.
It's more gross in a good way, like the Hawaii-Utah State game at 11 p.m. Like, I might watch it. But
Those are fun.
It's a gross match.
Yeah, that's fair. Don't love the uniform matchup here. It's very Christmassy. That's my word, Christmassy.
Okay. Another game in the Big Ten. Number 9, Illinois, taking on number 19, Indiana.
I'm going to go with the word unexpected, just because I think if you told me 2 or 3 years ago that this would be a top 20 matchup, I wouldn't have believed you. So unexpected, my word.
I'm going to say wish. I wish the Badgers were ranked and playing meaningful games.
I'm going to go test. Indiana made the playoff last year, and Illinois is projected to make it this year, so it's the first big test for both of them this year.
I'm sensing a trend for Joshy. He's very depressed about Badgers football.
They're going to look better this week. They're going to handle Maryland. They're going to look better now that they're into Big Ten play.
Billy Edwards' revenge game, potentially?
Maybe. He's still day-to-day. They're not sure on...
I don't know. That line moved quite a bit last night. It moved from 7.5 to 10.5 all of a sudden.
Could also be
Somebody
because
knows
there's a lot of
something we don't.
money being put, and they were like, okay, let's push that line a little bit more.
Well, let's talk about that. If that's the case, if what you suggest is the case, who the hell is betting so much money on the Wisconsin freaking Badgers that it moves 3 points?
Colin Cowherd has told the story before, and I think I've told it on this show, where he talked about when he used to work in radio in Vegas. For a stretch, the casinos stopped taking money on the Ivy League games because they would have private jets going from the East Coast to Vegas to put money on just Ivy League games, and they continually were hitting. So, I'm just saying that people are degenerates and crazy. So I'm just saying that, yes, there are people out there that are lunatics and would bet on Wisconsin football to that level.
Correct, and lunatics would be the right word. Yeah.
Typically, for a total to move 3 points, it needs to be information-based. It can be bet up 3 points over the course of days.
But in one day, right. That's
why I
think it's Billy Edwards related, because and I guess it's maybe a little bit different in college football than the NFL, but what position is going to move the line 3 points?
Yeah.
Quarterback.
Correct.
So that makes me think Billy Edwards is going. It's a revenge game. It's at home. I think it's that big of a gap between him and Danny O'Neal. So I don't know.
I certainly hope so.
Well,
It
given how
definitely
it was
is.
operated in the preseason, right? Like, it was never a battle. So
Yeah.
that makes me think there's a pretty significant gap there. Obviously, we haven't been able to see much out of Billy
It
Edwards.
wouldn't
but-
be the first time in college football that coaching staff made an incorrect decision on who's better.
Oh, really? Really? Wouldn't be the first time, huh?
Not that I'm saying that's the case, because it is obviously much more likely that Billy Edwards is better, but we've seen it before.
Yeah, but I think the guys like the Zach Heilprins and Jesse Temples of the world who are at the Badger practices were also confirming that Billy Edwards looks like the better quarterback and had been clearly commanding things better, hitting better throws more consistently. So I think it's Billy Edwards is going to be playing. He is definitely the starter and the better option at quarterback. Plus, the Badgers front seven against Maryland, they're going to control the line of scrimmage better, make Maryland one-dimensional. They're going to handle this game. It'll be another slow start, but that's the way that Jeff Grimes' offense works. He sets things up, and then it's later in the game where all of a sudden it explodes off of counters, play actions, the end-arounds, things like that.
All right, time now for What We Missed and What We Learned, which is presented by Door County Distillery, locally produced, handcrafted, award-winning spirits made locally in beautiful Door County. Gins, whiskeys, brandies, rum, all the in-betweens. Whatever you need to elevate your tailgate, your party, whatever you've got going on this weekend. If you're in Madison, tailgating the game, bring some Door County Distillery along. You can use their cherry brandy or their multiple time, I think it's 27-time gold medal award-winning single malt whiskey for your old fashions. The cherry brandy infused with local Door County cherries. The single malt whiskey is absolutely terrific. As I mentioned, it's won gold medals all over the country. Really good whiskey and really good whiskey for your old fashioned. If you're mixing those up at your tailgate, your party, your gathering, wherever you're watching the game this weekend, use Door County Distillery. They're all over the state of Wisconsin, Madison, Milwaukee, Green Bay, all the in-betweens. Check out their website, doorcountydistillery.com. Find the retailer nearest you to pick up that product. Okay, we are the show, and maybe I am the person that is probably the most well-known for making a fool out of myself athletically. Whether it's the failed home run derby or the NFL Combine, obviously the three-cone drill heard around the world. I know how to wear bad athletic accomplishments, including a first pitch like the one I threw out at the Lakeshore Chinooks game in July. Sailed it way over the catcher's head.
And the dog's head.
Bad placement for a dog, in my defense.
What?
Why was there a dog back there?
It's bark at the park night.
Do you not think that there's probably dogs at minor league parks a lot?
No, I do. And they have bat dogs and stuff, but
Yeah.
there was no bats. It was just a ceremonial first pitch.
Yeah, it was a cute dog.
Ceremonial first dog.
A golden retriever. A dog bred since the 1860s to find prey in the air. You threw it so high it lost it.
You only know this because you have a golden retriever.
I do know that because of that, but famously, they are a bird hunting dog. That's why they were created.
Okay, not the point here. What we missed is Mark Tauscher from Wilde and Tausch, our pal, our teammate, the Packers Hall of Famer, threw out a first pitch at the Milwaukee Brewers game last night. If you haven't seen it, Hunter will roll the tape on YouTube. But let's just put it this way, it was not good. He bounced it in, didn't even get it to the dirt. It was just an abomination. And if you watch the video on YouTube, you can see he takes a big breath as he is walking out to the...
He's feeling the pressure.
You could tell the nerves were brewing for old T, and he bounced that puppy in there. Didn't even get it to the dirt. It was a one bouncer. Didn't throw it nearly far enough. Let go either. I would guess way too late because it was a pretty high bounce. But look, it was bad, and I don't know whose was worse, mine or his.
I think skipping it in is better. I think the spiking it a bit, holding onto the ball too long.
But at least I got it across the dirt.
See, but the correction for you and the difference in release point, I think, is further. Like, you were more off than he was. And he was very off.
Sure.
You airmailed that like few have ever in the history of first pitches. And that's not an exaggeration. Had that been a little bit tighter back there behind home plate, you would have hit the netting that was protecting fans.
I did hit the backstop.
Yeah, it did on a bounce. Yeah. But that was so bad that there's some parks, especially back in the day, where you're hitting that thing 6 feet high. I mean, Ben Brust, still an athlete, can't jump like he used to, never really was much of a jumper, but full outreached arm. Division I college basketball player.
And it wasn't even close.
Didn't have a prayer.
Yeah, that's fair. I won't argue with that. Won't argue with that.
Gil, the Chinooks mascot, almost broke his neck trying to look at it
Well, that was unnecessary.
fly over his head.
Poor Gil.
So,
Oh,
how
poor
did Tausche handle it today on Will and Tausch? Did he take a beating? Did they get after him pretty good? What was the consensus on Tausch?
Well, it's Will and Tausch. Jason isn't going to be that mean to his co-host, especially. I think he was in a precarious situation where it's worth being laughed at. Tausch has since revealed that they're, physically, after playing in the NFL for a decade, some things aren't working like they used to. He hasn't been throwing balls like he used to, and he did do some work on it, and he was about 50-50 hitting it or spiking it. So, I was certainly more mean to you about it. But yours is less about physical capabilities.
Yeah. Well, that certainly has.
But you don't have things holding you back other than your lack of athleticism. You don't have injury.
I can't go to him with his words. This is.
Hang
what is
on,
going
we're
on?
back now. I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. What we missed?
Keep up the good work.
Will.
Okay. Sorry, I'm getting an echo. The Pablo Iglesias, our teammate in Madison, sent this over. Have you guys seen the Twitter header trend of guys, I can't figure out how to change my header? It says it's connected. I can't hear you guys again, so no idea what's happening.
To do something,
And we're
bring
back
something
now.
to
And
the
we're
table.
back
Babies.
Okay,
We talked. Well, that was the context that Strouf used it. And that's the only way I knew it.
I missed that.
Huh. All right. So stork is the
Are
word.
you familiar with a sandhill crane?
Yep.
Blue heron.
Yes.
Wow.
The
He's
story.
not familiar with a blue heron.
Yeah, it's a bird
Good job.
that may or may not be blue.
We're done here.
Keep up the good work.
Will.
It's, We'll talk to you Friday. I'll be live at Putts for Pups in Madison. Will might be with me. I don't really know what's going on there.
Yeah, we're still figuring out the details.
What's the % chance you'll be there with me?
I think 10.
Oh, okay. Okay,
That's lower than the Bajan meter.
All right, it's not looking good.
We almost made it a whole show without bringing up the pageant meter.
I brought it up at the beginning of the show.
I'm sorry, we were dealing with some stuff back here we were working on. I may not have heard it.
All right, we're done. This has been Mr.
gotta
Roman.
go.
We gotta
Bye.
go. We'll talk at 12:30 on Friday. Bye.
Shit.